morning. You're listening to AVNewsCast.com. Oh, actually, and watching as well.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. I got to get right up to this mic.
I don't know why.
No, you don't have to.
I don't have to?
No,
you don't. You
Am I
sound
all good?
fine. Yeah, you sound good.
I'm all
I can
good.
pot you up from here, too, if you...
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. You're listening to the #1 news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley.
And watching.
Now going coast to coast and all over the world.
Yes.
Yep.
AVNewsCast.com.
Shout out to our friends in Nepal.
That's right.
Shout out to... And you know what? Every day, that's a great idea. Every day from now on, we'll do a shout out to other people. If you want to shout out, hit us up on Facebook.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Or hit us up on...
my buddy Kristen Gingrich, the other gal that bought the second of the sticks from Small Town Security. She's watching today.
Lord. Somebody bought.
See, he had to get some twisted thing in the show.
She's my stick twin. That's what we call each other.
I wonder what she did with her stick.
I'm sure it's up on display like
I
mine
like
should
not
be.
seeing you.
Oh.
Like,
Well, he's right there.
no.
Look in the teleprompter.
I
I'm
can't
up there.
grab him good.
We actually have a teleprompter.
Yes.
It has no text on it, but we have a teleprompter.
Yeah, I can put text.
We could put text.
This morning,
Yeah.
in the Antelope Valley Courthouse this morning, Roberto Rodriguez will be in court this morning. Supposedly, I saw people last night making comment on Facebook. Now, here's the thing. He drove drunk, allegedly. Let me say allegedly, okay? Sunday morning, it was 3:50 in the morning, drove into an apartment building, sleeping inside her bedroom. Giselle Mendoza, a sophomore at Palmdale High School, was asleep in her bed and she was killed. That was at 3:50 in the morning.
Yeah.
He bailed out
Stop it.
on a $100,000 bond.
How do you bail out?
He bailed out at, Jeff, what time is 1949?
7:49 p.m.
He bailed out at 7:49 that night.
So he couldn't even stay one full night in jail after running a young girl over.
$100,000 bail.
Wow.
I don't get it.
Now, and you know that you are facing, at minimum, vehicular manslaughter.
Right.
There it is.
Okay? I saw people say, you know what, he's gone.
Why
He's
not?
gone.
Why not?
He's already gone to Mexico.
Well, that's not right to say.
I'm just saying. I saw people making that comment.
Yeah, well, that's not right to say.
I saw people making,
Well, I mean,
vigilante
the part
comments
that
too.
bothers me,
Yeah.
people are out of control. The part that bothers me is that this is what I'm saying about the system that we keep putting justice in front of. There's no justice in that. I mean, I get that he's, alleged until proven guilty and all that stuff, innocent until proven guilty. But a young girl is dead. He's the only guy in the car. You can't stay in jail a little longer than 24 hours? Or have a bail amount more than $100,000?
Well, now that's an interesting point, okay?
That's crazy.
That's an interesting point. Should he have had a bail amount higher?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You mug somebody on the street and you get a bail amount higher than that. That's like a ticket amount.
He knew who to call.
Who did he call?
Well, he knew who to call, and they arranged for bail, $100,000.
Well, that's any bail bondsman, right? I mean, all
Yeah,
you gotta
Aladdin.
do is have a house, right?
Yeah.
Or a car, for that
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah. So that was $10,000 in cash
So you
and
saw
equity.
comments on Facebook that...
Yeah, I saw all kinds of...
Stuff?
Yeah, so he's due in court this morning, probably in about 45 minutes from now.
Wow.
And that'll be that's going to be interesting.
This is why we really need to get, the culture of society needs to change in terms of drinking. It needs to,
Yeah, that's what Linda was talking about yesterday.
And where did he, well, I guess we're not going to find out anything if the boy doesn't go to court.
Yeah, we don't know if that's true, though. I would venture
what I'm
to say...
saying is, where did he drink from? Where
I don't
is
know.
he coming from?
You know that's going to come out.
If he comes to court.
It will, okay? He was a minor, not old enough to buy alcohol.
Nope.
So there are other people as well that contributed and are equally as culpable. Contributing.
Equally as culpable?
Well, you know what? Yeah, if you're an adult and you buy booze for this guy, and this guy gets in a car and kills someone as he did, the adult is responsible as well.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I mean, I think that there's a level of responsibility, but not equally culpable. Not equal.
You know what?
But there should absolutely be a penalty towards that adult that facilitated that need or that desire.
I think,
I don't know about equal. What do you think, Jeff?
I'd like to see everybody swing on the road. I'd like to see.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't even know why I asked you, because you just love having people swing at roads. That's like the thing that you do.
Well, I want to see everybody in trouble.
Yeah, you want to see everybody in trouble,
watch
everybody
the
locked
bird.
up.
Yeah,
that's you.
Yeah,
I forgot. Forgive me.
It's been a little while.
Yeah, I forgot who I was talking to.
Oh.
No, I mean, I think that justice should be just, and it should be balanced, and it should suit the crime. And if you served alcohol to this minor or to any minor, you definitely should be held accountable for that action.
Yes.
Absolutely. But it doesn't take away the responsibility of that 20-year-old, because he's not 12. He is a licensed driver that got in the car that decided to make that trip home.
Well, I'm just thinking if they make it just as steep for the person that provides the alcohol, then you limit how many people are going to be willing to provide that.
Yeah, but that's not justice. That's just a deterrent.
Okay. And if nobody sold him alcohol or gave him alcohol, then how would he get it and be drunk and kill?
He would have got it. I mean, I remember when I was in high school. I'm gonna tell the truth. I would go to the liquor store and wait until I saw a nice guy come up and ask him to go buy me some pink champagnes.
If that nice guy knew he was going to get life in prison for giving you that booze,
I don't. You know what?
He might
there
not
was
be
a
so
penalty.
nice.
There was a penalty back then too. The nice guy figured I didn't know his name. He didn't know mine. He was just going to get me the alcohol and go on about his business. I mean, that's the reality. We have the death penalty that you guys love, but people still kill people. So the deterrent
not
really
after they're dead.
Work. Oh, they don't. They wouldn't kill people if they were in prison for the rest of their life either, Jeff.
Well, sure they do. They do that all the time.
No, not the ones that you care about. You wouldn't care about those lives.
Well, there doesn't need to be any death row either. They should be out in general population waiting on their death, and if that happens to them, then so be it. On the way there.
No,
I'm fine with that.
We got to get better at this.
Nah.
We do. I was thinking, you know what? I know you guys are going to be surprised to hear this, but I was actually upset with our president today.
What?
Why? What did he do to you?
Stop the presses.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Does it involve someone famous in the entertainment industry?
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, I'm upset with him too.
Hey.
Okay, I'll let you go first. Yeah,
Okay.
he pissed me. I'm just pissed off at the White House, but go ahead.
You know why I was upset? I was upset because I'm like, we bend over backwards for other countries. I mean, we literally will bend over and let you do extraordinary things to us to sacrifice our own people for the benefit of another country.
That's right.
And when I think of it, there's so much work to be done here. There's so much that needs to be repaired here on our own land. Mind your business and fix your house.
Yeah, we can't take care of mental health for our own people, but we can send
we
fortunes to other
can't come
countries.
to terms with gun control that's acceptable for all. And I'm not, and
well, that's just
NRA
getting minds
likes
together.
Gun
That's
control. They just don't want their guns taken away. I'm saying control it. Mental health policies, whatever you need to do to ensure the safety of 5 people, I'll take. But the bottom line is that we're so busy in foreign affairs that we don't take care of our own house, and it's really irking me. It would be different if we were all going to Harvard. If all of our kids were thriving and there was no poverty, or at least the poverty was taken care of in a sense that they were safe or whatever, in that term. We can't even ensure that in our own land, but we want to make sure that people in Russia or
Ukraine,
Afghanistan or Ukraine or Israel or wherever is taken care of. Look at your look on your face when I said Israel.
No.
mess with your tribe and look at you.
Go.
You don't know what to do.
Wow. Wow, you're getting personal.
Ooh,
Wow.
you do it to me all the time.
Go ahead. Keep going.
I'm just.
I agree with you that we should take care
yeah,
of
we
our
need
own
to take
people
care
first.
of our own.
But we've talked about that many times on the show.
So, but this is
Okay.
my first time I was upset with our president.
Okay. I'll tell you why I'm upset with him.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay?
It must be Justin Bieber.
We, the people of the United States, feel that we are being wrongly represented in the world of pop culture.
Okay.
We
Oh,
would like
yes.
to see the dangerous, reckless, destructive, and
Yes.
drug-abusing Justin Bieber
Yes.
deported and his green card revoked. This was on Change.org. It received 273,000
Are you
signatures.
clapping?
Run him out of the country.
The White House has always promised if anything receives over 25,000 signatures
He'll look at it.
and respond.
Okay, do what?
The White House yesterday responded.
Okay.
Thank you for your participation and your petition. Sorry to disappoint you, but we will not comment on this one.
Come
And
on.
so you're upset because he didn't take your opinion and deport the boy?
I actually agree with the petition.
Yeah, because
He
you don't
is
like him.
one of the people that I absolutely do not like.
But you
okay?
don't even know the boy.
I don't have to know him. He's a punk.
Yeah.
I don't like him at all. I
don't
don't think
even
he
know
has
him.
anything positive. I don't think he contributes anything positive to the young adults of America that follow this guy around and idolize him. I don't.
What
That's
group
my-
did? What group did? I mean, it's so funny that you say
Stringing
that
poor
because
Selena
it's like,
Gomez along.
no, I mean,
She's
come
all
on,
sprung.
that's her choice. If she messed with that boy, that was her choice. But let's not get it twisted. Music is out here to entertain us. We're supposed to listen to the lyrics, listen to the medley, and like it or not like it. Change the station. You're not supposed to mimic your life based on what he does or think that he's some model citizen. He's not that.
I was gonna get a big stupid
He didn't
hat.
say that that's who he was. He said, I can sing and I can dance and I can perform. And that's what he gave.
Okay.
That's it. Like, why are we looking for these guys to be more than what they say that they were going to be in the first place? They're just
That's-
performers.
That's fine. I'm happy he was run out of California. Happy he was run out of Calabasas. Let him stay over. Where do you go to? Atlanta?
Yeah, I think so.
To Atlanta. Okay. Let him stay over
I
there.
mean, I don't care for his music, but, my choice is just not to listen to his music. But I definitely don't look for teen groups or young teen groups to say to my grandkids, look at them, mimic them, or look at how well they behave, or anything like that, because people are always different behind closed doors. And you don't pick your model based on what you see in the public. That's crazy. He served a purpose, like every other entertainer.
Okay, I'm just saying.
And so I think that the White House did the job right. I mean, if we start with this, okay, all you got to do is put together a petition to get somebody kicked out of America. That's craziness. That is look at you now. You
Let
can't
people
talk.
speak.
I'm actually trying to send Jeff a message while we're here.
I know. I hear it. There's nothing I can do without turning the thing off. So
Wow. Okay.
that's the only way to reset it. So
Okay.
if you want me to do that, I'll do that.
We could break for commercial.
What commercial?
Can we break for commercial?
Yeah.
Angelina, sing us a commercial. Oh, you know something I wanted to talk about yesterday?
Are we going
Gen-
to take a commercial?
General Motors. If you want to take a commercial to do a reset,
Yeah. Let's do a.
how long do you think it's going to take?
Not long at all.
All right.
All right,
Let's
so
take a commercial. All right? And we'll be back in just a minute. Perfect.
Okay. Welcome back to AVNewsCast.com on news. Nowhere.
On nowhere.
That's going to be hard to retrain myself.
Yeah. Because I was like, well, how come you didn't finish?
Oh.
Welcome back to AVNewsCast.com on News Talk Radio at AVNewsCast.com.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
All right. General Motors has had a huge recall, millions and millions of vehicles. A lot of the major news agencies have been reporting that a lot of the available parts for the vehicles involved in this recall are not even at the dealerships. Okay? People can't even get their cars fixed.
Yeah.
When this recall started...
75-cent parts?
Yeah, when this recall started, and you remember
they
that...
need to fix this.
Right, and GM actually had to go a few weeks ago, and they were testifying before Congress. Yesterday, and understand, lives have been lost here, okay? People have been nearly killed. There's 1 million some cars recalled. GM yesterday went in on an emergency order into bankruptcy court to have a federal judge declare that the recall, the vehicles, the lawsuits that they're being mounted against GM are the old GM. Today's GM is not responsible,
Well, shoot,
nor
let me do
will
that
we
with some
pay
of my
out.
bills.
So is our beloved leader going to bail them out again and keep them? Because we can't let that company fail, right?
GM says they are
That was a
not
good thing to get
responsible for
bailed
so
out.
far 13 deaths. The new
No.
GM says it's
No.
not our deal.
No.
Okay,
Is it the
It's
same
the
leadership?
no.
Everybody's gone? If
Everybody's
everybody's gone,
gone.
that's fine, but pay
No,
your
no,
debt,
no.
though.
Wait a minute. The
Is everybody
American people, our tax dollars, went and bailed this company out.
But I think
Yep.
they paid it back. They paid it back. So you can't hold that. Well, I'm
You know what?
I'm not arguing for them though.
Okay.
I do think that
Okay,
they're
let's-
responsible.
let's set
and they
that
should
aside.
pay it out. Because that's the bottom line. They need to pay up. It's
let's
not
just
like they're going to do a life for a life. If everybody's gone, if they clean house, then fine, clean house, but you got to pay up. What you got to sell up, you got to pay. The old GM crap that doesn't fly.
General Motors acknowledged that they knew that there were problems. Okay,
The old one did, right?
no, the new one
Okay.
acknowledged that the old one knew that they had problems. They knew that. They didn't act on it. People were dying. They continued not to act on it.
It's terrible.
Today they say, "Hey, it's not our problem."
No, it is a problem.
From a PR standpoint, here in America,
It is a problem.
when you've got a company like General Motors, okay, that likes to use the slogan, the heartbeat of America,
Yeah,
okay?
baby.
Stopping the heartbeat of
yeah.
it.
You know what?
Yeah,
There are families that lost people
yeah.
that
Why
GM,
would they do that? Why would they not want to pay the people what
Money.
they're-
it all comes down to money.
It's disgusting.
Never underestimate the other person's greed.
Yep.
Yeah, I
It's
just heard
all
that
money.
The other day.
And, yeah, probably for me.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. See? Probably from me.
Wow.
See, she remembered
Yep.
hearing it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was actually a Michael Douglas line. But I think it's terrible that GM decides to skirt their responsibilities.
Well, they're not going to be able to get away with it.
Yeah, they are.
Come on. See, that's that system.
He-
That's that
this is-
system that we talk about all the time.
Yep.
Okay, now, and we've got two different things here. This is, at law, they're not responsible.
The name is the same. Just because you change the pieces don't mean that the entity's not the same. The same thing would be, I got all these debts, but that was the old Angelina. The new Angelina will take responsibility.
She turned over a new leaf.
I turned over a new leaf. Don't hold me responsible for the car that I got repossessed and the house that I, lost, all of that stuff, right? That don't fly, right?
Right.
It's just a shame.
What about the millions and millions of people that bought vehicles through GM, financed through GM? GM went bankrupt. The finance dollars trickled over to the new company. So
They're
if the
beneficial,
dollars
yeah.
trickle over,
Then so should
doesn't the
responsibility.
retained liability of the old company trickle
Absolutely.
to the new company?
Yeah.
When you get married, don't you take on your spouse's debt? And if you're married for 2 months and she or he drops dead, isn't that still your debt?
Well, let me ask you a question. If you get married today, do you take on your spouse's debt from prior or from that day forward?
From prior. If I get married and you got a tax debt, it's now mine, isn't it?
Yeah, you marry that baggage.
Yeah. Just like I married your ex-wife in the alimony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you take it all on.
Yeah, well, GM should have to take it all on.
They should take
agree.
it all on.
But I think it's terrible, and I think if people are going... Well, I'm
That's...
I think it's wrong.
Yeah,
I think it's very, very wrong.
It is wrong. And there's no opposite... There's no argument. We're all in unison with that one. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the federal judge says that, you know what, technically they're right.
Because somewhere back in the back room, that judge is
There
getting
it is.
something.
But from a PR standpoint...
Right?
Getting a kickback.
Yeah.
From a PR standpoint, I think it sucks.
All his grandkids are getting GM trucks now.
Mm-hmm.
Who, the judge?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in a payoff deal?
Yeah.
No, that ain't happening.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No,
No,
it
because
isn't.
that
There's
stuff
something
doesn't
happening
happen.
somewhere? No.
Jeff, that stuff doesn't happen.
It doesn't
It
happen.
does not happen, Jeff.
All cops are good.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
All cops are good. And nobody takes payoffs. Never.
No, I was just about to. I was just
You
about
still
to
not
talk
with me?
about the candidates running for LA County Sheriff, but I don't want to do that.
Not on top of that, huh?
And then follow that one up.
I think that that's perfect timing.
No, wow. Okay,
Go for it.
James Helmold was on KFI last night.
Ah.
How do you do?
I didn't have a chance to listen to it, but one thing yesterday that we talked about, and actually Linda brought it up, okay, was powdered alcohol.
Yes.
Okay.
Did he talk about it? Or did you hear that he talked about it?
No. After listening to our show,
Uh-huh.
KFI thought that was a neat topic,
Oh, yeah.
so they had to talk about it last
Once
night
again.
too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what they do.
And
appreciate
it is a very interesting. Yeah, it's a powder form.
Yeah.
You ever heard of that, Arthur?
Could you imagine?
It's a powder
with your
form.
eggs in the morning, so you don't have to worry about going to work smelling like alcohol. You just sprinkle a teaspoon to take the edge off on your eggs.
I can see idiots out there.
Oh
okay,
yeah. Oh yeah.
That are going to try to find a way to shoot this stuff up.
Well, there's
Okay.
Come on. I mean, it's got to be good enough. Just put sprinkle in it. Who comes up
Don't you
with
ever-
these ideas?
I had a roommate. My roommate when I was in the Navy. You ever heard of butt chugging?
Oh no!
It's
is
true.
We
It's
can't.
true.
Yeah, but we can't do that.
But we can.
We
Yeah,
can't.
I'm not going to
But
say
we
any.
can.
Do it.
No, we're not going to do that.
There's.
Well,
I'm
I
just saying
wanna
that
know what it
there's
is.
been
You're
alternative.
So scary.
There's been alternative ways of doing alcohol for a long time.
Okay.
That was his
He's looking
favorite.
at his phone.
That was his favorite Friday night. Was
I love it.
Wow.
a pizza and a Jack Daniel's enema. That was his favorite.
See, he had to find a way to get that in there.
It's true.
That's why I said
That's
no.
what I'm saying. There's alternative.
Don't you listen to me? Go with me when I say no.
Okay.
I need microphone controls over here, okay?
Wow.
I need them moved over here.
Where's
okay?
that dump button?
I want to be able to pot down everybody's mics.
Wow.
Okay. Unbelievable.
It's true though. There's always been alternative
Okay.
ways of ingesting,
Okay.
and that's straight to the blood. That right immediately into the bloodstream, and it's actually very dangerous.
I would.
Yeah, you can get alcohol poisoning really easily. You gotta dilute it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me a little bit more.
We'll talk
after the break. After the next break.
Yeah.
But I just think it's asinine. But
Yeah,
tell
it
us
is.
what else did
KFI
talk about? Did they talk about that for a while?
No,
they should at
actually-
least drop our names if they're gonna
Yeah, come on.
take stuff from us.
Credit us. They talk about their their staff reporters. How about the unofficial reporters?
Yeah. Angelina.
Yeah,
Well, right.
and Linda.
Well, we'll wait and see. I don't want to talk about KFI. Forget it. We'll just leave that alone.
He's so scary.
Well, no, because we've got some stuff going on over there.
Irons in the fire.
oh, well,
got-
KFI
so
is
I'm-
great.
Okay, now see, you know what? and she's not really sure what we're talking
Yeah,
about,
I
but
have no idea.
she'll just go with it.
What's
okay?
their name? Tom and Jerry?
Yeah. Nice,
Did you like that?
nice. Who's on right now? Bill Hannell?
Yes.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry. Right on. Yesterday in Utah, federal court There was a defendant there. He was in court yesterday. It was his first day of trial. Okay?
Yeah.
It was gang-related.
Yeah.
He's led into the courtroom, and he sits down, and he grabs a pen.
Yes, he does.
And after looking at the witness that's going to testify against him and put him behind bars for a very long time, he grabs this pen and lunges and tries to stab the witness.
You talk about some hate.
Okay? Federal marshals are in the courtroom. They draw and shoot him.
Killing?
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, okay, well,
I was
you
gonna
jump
say,
to the end of the story.
It's not going to look
Now,
good for the jury.
Now, and get
It's
this.
gonna taint him a
the
little bit.
jury had just been seated.
Oh.
Okay? The jury was
Man.
selected on Friday,
Oh,
Man.
and they were just seated, and this all takes place right in the courtroom,
Right.
in front of the jury.
Right.
so
Okay.
much for their $15 a day, huh?
Until ambulance and EMTs arrived, the agents, even though they had shot this guy multiple times, they held him at gunpoint. Okay?
Wow.
Because they thought he was going to move?
Okay, so then they, well, he wasn't dead yet. Then they take him out to a hospital, right? The judge, who is totally stunned, okay, actually orders a mistrial.
No.
And he says, look, we cannot have, this defendant can no longer have a fair trial.
Not here. Not for me.
But it was his fault.
Not right here,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to declare a mistrial. All right, the jury's now excused. We're going to have to retry the case.
Yeah.
And his order for mistrial, it was one paragraph, signed by the judge, and then a few hours later the guy dies.
Could you imagine if he survived and the jury now would have had to come to testify on what he did at the last?
Is that admissible?
Crazy.
Can you,
Yeah,
can you add
'cause
that in?
he's got charges now against him on that.
But that's a different case, though.
Yeah, well, they're going to put
It's
it
how
on him.
crazy it is in there. You probably couldn't. It's not admissible.
Did he get a stab off?
He didn't get a stab. He was
on his
right there.
way.
He was right there, and they
And they capped him.
Nice.
they shot him multiple times. Two guys
Wow. Yeah.
did not hesitate.
No, you don't do that.
Well, there's something to be said about federal marshals. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, there's a little different. That's another level.
It is another level of accuracy.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Notice how you say accuracy.
It
They're
is.
not going to shoot around the car.
Yeah. They didn't hit. They
No,
didn't
they're
hit
not
two
gonna
ladies
shoot
in a
around.
pickup truck.
They
No.
actually hit their marks, huh?
Yeah, they actually do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
They actually. Yeah, they absolutely
So
do.
some other agencies need to go to their training spot.
Well, that's a whole nother level. Somebody posted on Facebook this morning that, and this was an interesting post, and it was actually Larry Hobson. Here's the thing: you're convicted of a crime, you go to prison, you do your time, you come out of prison, and you're expected to get a job and be gainfully employed.
Well, that's not reality, though. You come out of prison and you're still doing your time.
Well, just a second. When you're released from prison or from jail, should your record... What if that record was only accessible to law enforcement? Okay? You've paid for your crime. You've come out of prison. You've come out of jail.
Right.
What if only law enforcement could search for that record? So that you had the ability to go in to get employed.
Right.
Employers doing a background check would not be able to see that.
Well, I think that it should be relevant to what your crime is. If you were an embezzler, it's not really fair for the employee
To go to Bank of America and be a bank manager?
That's not right.
Understood.
So I think that it should fit the nature of the work that you want to go into. And maybe your background check should go to law enforcement, and maybe they should take an evaluation as to what you've done and how it might affect wherever you're trying to get a job at. But definitely, absolutely, these people go to jail. We say that you're in prison and you're supposed to do your time, and you paid your debt to society. But reality is that no, the debt to society is never paid. you're paying for the rest of your existence. Because
Okay.
even 7 years after you leave prison, well, 7 years, they can go back, when you do a background check, they can go back as far as 7 years legally. But I have a friend that does.
What do you mean? No,
Yeah,
they can go back to
no,
18 years
legally
old.
they can go back 7 years.
Who says that?
The background, that's what it is. You can go back only 7 years legally. However, because I have
Isn't that just
a friend,
bankruptcy?
because I have a friend that works in background checks, he would tell me, "Hey, Angelina, legally I have to tell you that within 7 years that person didn't do anything. But 9 years ago, this is what I saw." And if my friend can tell me that, I'm sure that happens across the nation. But legally, when you go to work, when you fill out your paperwork for your background check, it's only 7 years.
Okay, so as an example, you go to prison for vehicular manslaughter. You go to prison for 10 years, and you come out. You want to go get a job at McDonald's.
You should be able to get
Should
a job.
McDonald's be able to access?
I don't think so.
It's interesting.
It isn't interesting.
It is.
It's very. It's our nature of being judgmental always. And if you make a mistake that we catch you in, you get to pay for that for the rest of your life. That's the nature of people. And that's a shame. Because, in one sense, if I called your employer and your employer said, "You know what, he was a horrible person, I would never hire him, there's no way I would hire him back, blah, blah, blah," you could sue that old employer for the inability of him allowing...
Defamation?
No, not defamation, but it hampers you from being able to make a liveliness. So you could sue that old employer for that. But yet, if you do something stupid when you're 18 and you spent 10 years in jail and the background check says you can only go back 7 years, it shouldn't even come up.
Well, but it does.
It does, because that's where we live. That's we love to be able to put people in boxes and keep them there.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And then we cry and complain because these people are not productive people in society.
Understood.
Yeah, it's like a catch-22.
It is interesting because people, they want to get a second chance. Okay. But people also say, "Yeah, but I want to know." I mean, I know somebody.
Why? It's none of your business. It's none of your business. As long as they're coming to work and they're doing what you employ them to do, that's where it begins and ends. That's it. Whatever they did before is none of their business.
Okay.
And a lot of people will say, they'll even admit, "You know what? By the grace of God goes me." Because when I was younger, I did some stuff, and I'm so happy that I didn't get caught, or, I woke up at the right time before I got caught up, bad association and all that stuff. People say that all the time.
Okay. Should there be caveats to that? You're a sexual predator.
Oh,
Child molester.
You get nothing.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're not going to turn into Michelle.
All right. No,
Yeah.
just a second. Okay. You were convicted of murder.
What kind of murder?
What do you mean murder?
No.
I mean, it's not a blow-up doll. It's murder.
Really?
Yeah.
You say that with this one that can comment?
Yeah, I know. Forget it. Don't comment on that. But I'm saying murder is murder. What do you mean? What kind of murder?
Well,
I'm not talking vehicular manslaughter. Murder. You murdered someone.
Intentionally.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. It's what's the definition of you paid your debt to society? What does that really mean? If we're going to use that term, then use it and let it be what we're saying that it is.
Okay. Would you not want to know if you had an employee at the workplace that went postal and murdered somebody because they got mad?
I don't
want to know?
I don't know if that would
Because now
matter
you're
to
at
me.
work. Now you're at
No.
work, and instead of 50 employees being there during the day, it's now only just you and this
that guy.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Do you wanna know?
closing.
Well, I don't think
Sun's gone down.
that I need to know. Would I want to know? Yeah, because I'm curious and I'm nosy like that. But I don't think that it's relevant because there's always the first time for somebody that's killing you behind. There's always the first time. So just because they did it before doesn't mean that they like the taste and they want to do it 9 more times. You go postal, that's their first time doing it. It doesn't really matter who it is. You better just treat people right. They go postal because they're getting treated crazy.
I would want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, there are certain crimes that I would want to know. You know what? If you were convicted and went to prison because you had 100 million tons of cocaine, I don't even care.
Okay.
Okay. If you've done your time, then I'm
But
not going to
Steve,
worry
you
about
could
it.
be in the workplace with somebody that's never committed a crime before, but happens to be the next one that comes to the school with a butcher knife and stabs 20 kids.
I understand.
So there's no guarantee in your safety by knowing that I might have killed somebody when I was 12.
I know, but generally,
A lot of us are just one pill away from.
Okay.
And you know he's serious.
I know he is.
You know he's serious. And we come here to the studio
Locked
that
into this
we're
room.
by ourselves with every day. If you could roll the dice on him every day, certainly you can come to work and not know who's in the warehouse.
I avoid. You know what? I avoid when he's out on meds. I avoid him.
Oh yeah.
But you never know.
I don't hang out with him.
But
That's
it's an
wise.
honor system. You never know if he took his meds
I
every
can
day.
tell. I can tell when
Check us.
if the eyes are not going around, it's like a little vertigo
Hey.
in
Yeah.
there. Yep. Then,
Your eyes are pretty on point today.
Yep.
You've seen them kind of glassy when we.
Oh, yeah.
When I've come
Okay,
in.
good.
You've commented on that.
We are kidding. Okay.
Little bit.
Everybody thinks that we're serious.
Okay.
If you're happy and you know what, shake your meds.
Yeah. You know what?
Oh, wow.
What?
Those aren't his meds. Okay, those are mints.
Those are my life.
No, Chuck just commented. You know, what about a hostile employee in the workplace? You would want to know. I would want to know.
What do you mean? If he did it before, it doesn't mean he's going to do it again. And it's not giving you it's not ensuring your safety now, Steve. They begin somewhere, is what I'm saying.
I understand, but I would want, you know, if I have a pit bull around me, I want to know it.
Consider everybody a pit bull.
No, why?
Because that way you're safe. Or you're the safest that you can be. Treat people like they want to be treated. So if they do go schizophrenic on you behind, it ain't you that they're going after. Oftentimes you hear these people coming back to work because they were so mad at their ex-employer, blah, blah, blah. You know people be treating people messed up at work.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Lack of
I know.
respect,
Yeah.
condescending, arrogant,
Keep going.
all of those things. I'm just saying, you know, you got to treat people with respect.
Okay, it's a very interesting.
It is interesting.
It is.
But I do
Okay.
believe that if you go to jail and you spend your 10 years and you come out and the justice system says that's your debt to society, that should be your debt. And it shouldn't follow you. I mean, it really shouldn't. Some of these kids are 18 years old making mistakes. And they go to jail 5 years and they come out and it's going to follow them.
Sure.
And it's just luck that they happen to get a great opportunity.
It is an interesting thing because what would that do to unemployment? Because a lot of people that are unemployed can't get a job, okay, for a variety of reasons. Crime is one of them.
Yeah.
If they had the ability to get a job, would they go get a job? I know somebody that is in their 30s that just got a job for the first time in their whole life.
Amazing.
Okay, because they had been through the jail and prison system for so long that now they're in their 30s and they're working. They have a job for the first time in their life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that,
And didn't think they'd even have that one.
yeah, you know, there's some responsibility in that too. You know what I mean? Like, you get one mistake, dude. Don't be in jail 9 times and wonder why you still don't get a job. Because it's like, come on. Like, learn your lesson the first time. If you want to get a tattoo or two, get a tattoo or two. But don't get tattoos on your face and then want me to employ you.
Or those gummy lifesaver earlobes.
Gummy lights.
Gummy lifesaver earlobes. Those big stretched out.
Oh, yeah, that's
horrible
crazy.
thing.
If you want to do that, then you got to work for yourself. You got to be independent.
I'm seeing people now. Have you seen the pictures on Facebook where they get the circular things implanted in their cheek, and you actually see
right
their
here.
teeth?
Yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah,
this-
they've got them on the sides now too, so you can see the.
How did we get to that?
Because there's
Stupid things people do and wonder why they can't get a job.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Steve,
well,
you put a big old ring here so you can see your gum and your gum disease at all.
Yeah,
I
your
mean, it's
gingivitis.
just- why? So I'm smelling your breath with your mouth closed. Always. Dang.
Wow.
How do you get away from him?
Yeah. Yeah, I was having a conversation with my friend the other day, and we were talking about way back in the 80s, and they started, doing the whole modern primitive thing and all the body modification and stuff. And, thought it was cool and artsy.
Bad.
It's not. It just thought it was cool and artsy back then. But now all that goes through my mind is, you should tell me thank you for supporting you with my tax dollars now, because you're not going to get a job.
Yeah. No, unless
you're a tattoo artist.
Yeah. You gotta
work in a funky salon.
Your
that's all you're going to. That's it.
You got to think out your box.
Yep.
Or making cakes, or somewhere in the back that people don't see you.
Yeah.
You can't be the hot dog seller guy.
Yeah.
You can't be the hot dog seller guy.
No, you can't be the point person.
No. Because I'm just not going to get the hot dogs from
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Right. We talk about the Boy Scouts of America a lot, and we talked about their position with gays in Boy Scouts.
What about...
I'm pivoting.
Pivot.
Left.
I'm moving.
Hard. Okay.
Hard. And if you remember, the Boy Scouts of America said, because UPS, FedEx, everybody else said, hey, we're not donating to you anymore because you are not supporting gays. Okay, you're not supporting lesbians. You're not. So they changed their position. Okay, and nationally they said, okay, we are going to open it up and we are going to support it, but we're going to leave it to the individual districts to make their own decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means don't come knocking on my door.
Okay. A troop within a district in Seattle, Washington yesterday. The troop decided to stand by their scoutmaster, who is gay.
Okay.
Who is gay. And they said, we are going to stand by him. We want him to be our scoutmaster. He's been our scoutmaster. And we want him to continue. And the Boy Scouts of America said, okay, that's good. We appreciate that. We're revoking your charter.
Oh,
wow.
We're shutting your troop down.
Well,
the troop,
I mean,
now, at many times, Boy Scouts, their troops take place at schools or at churches. A lot of the time it's at churches. This one in Seattle, Washington, took place at a church. The Rainier Beach United Methodist Church, they said that because of our religious principles, we will continue to act autonomous and we are not going to discriminate. The fact that he is gay doesn't make any difference to us. You guys are welcome to be here. The Boy Scouts said that's not going to happen, and they shut him down.
That's interesting. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is, if I'm gay, I'm not doing nothing with the Boy Scouts of America because you guys don't like me. I mean, gay people are very organized.
Gay doesn't equal child molester.
No, it doesn't.
No,
it absolutely doesn't.
You know what?
I just don't.
Maybe.
I mean, I just wouldn't have anything to do with a group that discriminated against me.
So much for one planet, one people.
Oh, we're not.
Okay.
We're absolutely not.
No, so much for that.
But I'm not going. Listen, I'm not. You won't ever see me put in an application for the Klan, even if the states say they have to take black people in. I'm not going to put in an application for the Klan.
Yeah, that'd be smart.
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be smart.
They don't like me. So why do you want to be a scout leader for a group that doesn't like you?
Maybe
to try to change from within, or
no, you can't change from within. You
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out the logic.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm taking a call live on the air.
Uh-oh.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
Hello, Chuck.
Angelina.
Good morning.
Angelina,
sweet baby. I wouldn't expect you to put an application in for the Klan.
Right.
However, the Boy Scouts were using the property of the United Methodist Church. The United Methodist Church in that area already had its doctrinal statement. And if they were chartering it, and it went against their doctrinal statement, then why should should they continue to support something they don't believe in?
Actually, there's a big
Is
movement
that
within.
discrimination?
There's a
think
big
it
movement
is.
within the
Or what they
Methodist Church,
believe.
though, that swings very far to the liberal side.
I think
That's-
it's ridiculous, to
Some-
be
some-
completely honest, Chuck. Let me tell you why, and I'm sorry, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
You got crazy groups of fornicators through every sect of every religion. Fornicators, adulterers. And if you want to get down to it, one sin is not greater than the other, if you just put it on a very basic level. So if you're going to let these people, if you let the ministers do it with their congregation, and you let the boyfriends and the girlfriends that live together and have never been married, they're part of the congregation, then let the gay people pull up their chair too. Because you're discriminating because you don't like the way they swing.
The United Methodist Church hasn't already done church discipline on the adulterer, the fornicator, the god.
Because you can't get them all. You can't get them
You
all.
cannot place an entire paintbrush over every church that you might disagree with.
No, I do.
But
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
because each individual body is different, and they might have a different part of the Constitution of which they are licensed or chartered underneath the state that they're in.
I just think that
That's by the Articles of Incorporation.
I get it. I do get it that it's their right to do it, Chuck. But I just think it's just a big bunch of hypocrites, because you can't tell me that in a congregation, say of 1,000 people, somebody in that group is not fornicating. You can't tell me. You can't tell me there's a whole lot of 40-year-old virgins in that church. You can't.
Okay. You know what?
Okay?
That makes
What
sense to
are you
me.
going to do with Mormon Church?
Huh?
Okay.
What are you going to do with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, otherwise known as the Mormon Church?
What?
Brigham Young University has an entire program for Boy Scouting.
Great.
What are you going to do with them?
What would I do with them? I just say that you shouldn't discriminate. Let everybody be accountable to the God that they serve.
Okay, let's talk about discrimination. Yesterday, Chuck, in Freehold, New Jersey, a family has sued the regional school district and its superintendent, seeking to have the phrase "under God" removed from the Pledge of Allegiance in school. The reason and their cause of action, the lawsuit filed in Superior Court yesterday, was because they are discriminating against atheists.
Well, atheists are their own god, so I mean,
So they're talking to
they're
themselves.
not doing a specific. Yeah,
So you're
basically
talking
that's
to-
what it is.
Yeah.
They see
And
themselves
when
as their
they
own god.
remove that, then are they discriminating against those who believe in a higher power?
That doesn't matter.
Well, it's not supposed to be in school anyway.
Yeah, apparently, Chuck, that doesn't matter.
I mean, it really shouldn't matter, because your worship should be between you, yourself, your family, right?
They're atheists. They don't believe in anything.
No, what I'm saying is, it was always
Well,
very
that is their
convoluted
faith.
to me, because why are you
That
even
is
saying
their
it
faith.
at a
They don't
school?
believe in anything, even though they don't believe it.
Right.
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 That was good.
They don't believe in anything. And that's right.
And they don't
believe that either.
That is their faith. That is their worldview.
Yeah, you know, their god could be Apple. Their god could be money. Their
Right.
god, you know. Eh,
They're an atheist, and I will respect them. Their faith is that they have no faith in a higher being.
Right. They have faith in themselves. Which, whatever floats your boat.
But
All I'm saying is don't discriminate on people, because we as individuals are not walking gods. And until we start walking on some water and bringing some people back from dead, then, just account for it's the same as what I was saying that I was upset with President Obama. Fix your own house first. Fix your house first. Don't come out the house pointing fingers. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? When you have all kinds of mess in your own house.
don't pick the speck out of your brother's eye when you got a log in your own.
Right.
Yep.
However, there's other ones that say you shall know them by their fruits.
Know them. And,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can know them and choose not to hang out with them. It's called bad association spoils useful habits. You can get to know people that you hang out with, and if you see how they are, how they interact, how they treat their mother, how the fact that he done had 4 boyfriends in a month, whatever, then you know that that's not a friend base that you want to participate in. I do it. I do it. My friends know that if they cheat on their husband, don't tell me because I'm telling.
Go
it's
ahead,
over.
Chuck.
And yet you guys still accept me into your circle. Thank you.
Oh,
you accept
Chuck.
us too.
Chuck, what do you mean your family?
yeah.
Hey, and you know what? Jeff is family,
but
so
no.
Jeff could be family.
Great.
No, but Chuck, the point I want to make is, live and let live.
Yeah.
What's the problem? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, to bring a lawsuit against a school district, okay, where I might add that in New Jersey, it is actually part of their constitution. The school district is actually following state constitution. So if they want to change it, go to the legislature and you go get the governor to change it. Okay,
right.
And good luck with that one.
Good luck with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and this lawsuit was brought by the American Humanist Association.
Of course they
that
were.
has 20.
Of course.
Of
Back in 1963.
Yeah, they have 25,000 members in 180 chapters nationwide.
25,000 dictating for the rest of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy.
It's the American way.
Yeah.
I take, and this is my stand, your personal beliefs are your own.
Right.
And I will respect them. I may not agree with them, but I will respect them, and I will support your decision to do that.
Yeah.
Just don't stomp on me.
With me.
I won't stomp on you. You don't stomp on me.
So in that, Chuck, do you think that the Boy Scout troop leader should have kept his personal stuff out of the public eye
Yes.
and not even discussed it?
Yeah. Why do
Like
people...
as a football player, Chuck, that goes from college to the NFL and announces he's now the first openly gay player, or basketball.
Why?
Yeah, what's that got to do with anything?
Why are you telling me your business like that?
Right. Shouldn't they just keep it to themselves?
Yes. There's no such thing as your own business anymore.
I'm a gay person, and I play football. Okay? I'm a gay person, and I drive a stock car.
Are you coming out? Are you coming out, Chuck?
The person does that affect his ability? No, that's his personal beliefs.
Yeah, but why do you have to say it? I mean, I certainly don't come on and say I'm a radio host and
now
I'm...
there's
Openly
a
straight
difference
radio
between
host.
in your face and being militant about it.
militant about
I
it.
love that word.
Militant.
Militant about it. Okay.
Okay,
Here we go.
That's one of my
Uppity.
favorite words.
Uppity.
I like the militant word. I use it a lot. She gets very mad at me.
Because you know better now.
Yeah,
Because you know better.
And she's very firm and militant in her stance
What?
of beliefs.
I'm militant?
She's gonna tell you to go look up
You
the
should
word
look up
militant
the word militant.
because
Yeah.
she's gonna tell you
Go to the
same
Urban
thing.
Dictionary or something.
She tells me that we're using it out of context,
Yeah.
but I love to use that word.
Yeah.
I use it on her all the time, Chuck.
Power to
And I kind of agree with you there, Chuck, too.
It's the perception.
It's not the perception; it's what you're seeing through your own lens.
Ooh.
Because you wouldn't call Jeff militant or Steve militant. It just so happens that I'm militant. Why am I militant?
I just like to use the word. Hey, Chuck, by the way, I didn't get a chance, although I did it by text. You did a really great job on Saturday announcing out at Willow Springs.
I did hear that.
Thank you so much.
No, you really did. You did a great job. Last season I listened to Chris do it, but you were right in there, and I got to say it was the best announcing I've heard in a long, long time.
All right.
I didn't see a white car.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Our next race out at Willow Springs for the super late models for the Toyota AVNewsCast Racing Series is going to be May 31st.
May 31st. Yeah, actually, I was talking to people that want to come out. They had heard that Saturday was so big that they want to come out next time. So it's May 31st.
Was there a lot of people there?
There were a lot of people. There was racing on multiple tracks. It was great stuff.
Nice.
It was really good stuff.
Yeah. I finally got out. I finally got back home at 11.
Wow.
I could speak a little bit on Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you did a great job.
I think I'm losing my tenor voice.
Uh-oh.
My voice dropped a little bit, I think.
Well, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't lose your edge.
Thanks.
You got to be able to call in and say, Angelina.
Angelina, sweet baby. I'll work on that one.
Thank you, Chuck. Thanks for
Chuck.
calling in. Call in all the time.
Please.
Thank you, and have a great day.
You too.
Thanks, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I just think we should just
You
live
know
and
what?
let live. Live and let live.
I kind of think so.
And don't put your application in an entity that don't like you.
I know a couple of people listening to the show are not going to agree with this, but I've been to the Boy Scout meetings, okay, and I know the official position, and then I know the real position.
Yeah, we all know what the real position is.
This is the decision we make in a closed room situation.
And they're thinking,
I didn't like it.
And they're thinking that they're doing that because they think that it has a correlation between the molestation and you being gay.
Yes and no.
How's the no?
Okay, it's also serious discrimination.
No, I don't think that they're. Okay. I don't think that they're. You think they're consciously saying we know we're discriminating? I think that they're trying to err on the sense of we don't want any more of our boys molested.
Than the hundreds that already were?
Right.
Right. And there were. And that list is up on the internet, and you can look at it, and you can see it by city, and you can see where it was, and not as of recent, but you will most definitely see the Antelope Valley.
Why? Because it doesn't happen anymore?
No, I'm just saying that
they didn't update the list.
Yeah, it was only updated so much.
Yeah.
But you can definitely see it. AJ wants to say something.
Yeah, he has something.
AJ, what is it?
Come on over here.
Not on camera.
No. We got a waiver.
No.
Do?
Oh.
No, we better check on that.
Okay.
But just go ahead and say it, AJ.
Well, I'm just saying, if this problem is happening in the Boy Scouts, why isn't the same thing happening in the Girl Scouts? Why don't they not apply lesbians to be Girl Scout leaders too? So,
yeah, you don't hear much of that.
Who would be a troop leader for the Girl Scouts?
Well,
who's going to do it?
You need someone outdoorsy.
Yeah.
Somebody in comfortable, sensible shoes.
Right.
yeah, so it's the same principle, but I think they're just blowing it out of proportion because it happens in both sides of the Scouts.
Right.
I think it happens more in the Boy Scouts than it did ever in the Girl Scouts.
It happens more,
but should it be happening at all?
It shouldn't be happening.
Okay.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
There's a policy in Boy Scouts, and let's say I'm going to an event, and it's a Boy Scout event, and I'm taking my son and 2 other kids, and we're all in the car, and we're all going to the event. I'm supposed to have another adult with me, okay, because there has to be checks and balances.
Absolutely.
And they have a lot of, and you have to go through all kinds of testing and all this stuff.
I'm not trying to speak badly about the Boy Scouts, but when
It's a great organization.
When I hear that, it scares me to death. Because it's like, geez, you got all these preventatives? That's kind of scary. Let me just keep my boy at home, put the tent up in the back, boy. Let me show you how to tie a knot.
You know what? I understand. But, as an example, okay, and not that he was with the Boy Scouts at all. But last week, a longtime Antelope Valley soccer coach, Renoir Valenti, was sentenced Friday to 130 years.
Wow.
Plus 8 months. They wanted to make sure. Okay.
Plus 8
8 months.
Nice.
In state prison for molesting more than a dozen underage boys. Okay. The Boy Scouts have checks and balances in place. At the same time, if you're a coach at a school or a soccer or whatever, you shouldn't be having kids to your house.
No.
No.
Okay?
And if you do, you're having the parents too, because it's a thing that we're doing all together. You're certainly not doing the whole troop thing in your basement by yourself with my kids.
Right. I agree.
You know, and
this guy, by the way, was in total denial.
Oh, he's tripping out.
And he said in court that this was a travesty of justice. Okay? He said he is innocent. He didn't do anything.
Innocent, huh?
Yeah, the judge got very upset with him.
Ooh.
Very, very upset. I saw a thing last week, by the way, talking about an upset judge. Another judge, and it was in the Midwest, got so upset with the defendant that he told the defendant in open court to shut up, and if you open your mouth again, I'm going to have the bailiff duct tape your mouth shut.
Nice.
You're so disrespectful. And then,
that'd be violating his
then the
civil
defendant
rights.
spoke
Right.
again.
You
Okay.
can't do that.
No, and then the judge looked at the defendant and said, I hope you die in prison.
Wow.
Well, he just gave him a get out of jail free card, didn't he?
Well, no, it was at his sentencing time, and the judge was flipped out.
No, but you can't
Okay.
do that.
It's actually up on the internet if you wanted to see it. But
Should a judge be able to do that?
you know what?
I'm just asking you.
It was, yeah.
No.
You know what? This person had no remorse for what they did.
I get it.
Okay?
Oh, so this is like part of his sentencing.
He had already been convicted.
Got it.
It was done. Yeah. I that's fine with me as far as I'm
I
concerned.
thought judges were supposed to be free of emotion completely.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that we're out of time for the day.
Yes.
Okay? We are out of time for the day. I did want to talk about the 16-year-old stowaway from San Jose to
that's
Maui.
amazing.
Yeah, it is totally amazing. But we're out of time, so we'll be back tomorrow.
All right.
Okay? Thanks for making us the #1 news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley and all over the place.
Yep.
Okay? We'll be back tomorrow.
Somebody wasn't watching the clock, huh? I'm sorry, it wasn't.
Okay.
Is audio off?